That looks sweet. What have we got going on here then? Well, stick around and you can find out a little bit more. Wow, look at this little beauty I've acquired for the channel. It's a bit of a project really, but it's also a bit of fun, and it was available at a price I just could not refuse. If you can't tell, it's a Honda CR80 2001. The previous owner had it for about 5 years. He said he's not touched it for the last 3 years, and when he had it for the 2 years before that, he said his kid hardly touched it. He said it'd be lucky if it did 5 hours. And apparently he put it away working, and it's been dry stored in the garage for the last 3 years. Easy. It does look a bit tatty, I will admit that. But just a quick scan of it, everything feels quite tight. It feels mechanically sound to me. I checked the compression on the kickstart, it felt quite good. I had no complaints. The suspension feels really good. And the bearings, I can't think of anything else that you can quickly check. First of all, I've already had to free up both brakes. They were really holding it back. The front brake came off pretty easy. I could get to the pads, cleaned up the piston, and it works a treat. Got to the back brake and I couldn't undo the bolt that holds the pads in. It's a screwdriver. It's a flathead rather than a Allen key. So that was really annoying. I'll work out how to get it out sooner or later. But I've sprayed some brake cleaner in there, pried open the pads, did that a few times, and it seems to work quite well now. My task is then just to get it running really and give it a once over. I'm going to start with a scaff technique. If you've not heard of that, it's the spark, compression, air, fuel. That's what a buyer does. If you're a seller, you would do it the opposite way, which is facts. Obviously, if you're selling it, you just want to do the minimal work you have to. So you'd check the fuel, the air, compression and spark. In that order to keep trying to get it going. But like I said, I'm a buyer. I want to check I haven't got a lemon here. Let's take a quick look before I start anything on this. There's a lot of like that sort of rusty stuff on there. Rusty mould. You can see the dirt on here. It's been stored for 3 years with a blanket on, so it would be a lot worse, but the plastics just need a good clean up. That looks like it's nicotine stained. The exhaust is all pretty straight, there's no bends. I've looked at the frame, I can't see any bends or kinks or welds. Everything seems pretty good. Just looks can be deceiving. Yeah, we've got the Renthal bars, nice. Pro circuit lever, a Pico lever, tilt forks. It's looking better by the minute. Radiator looks a bit battered. I've seen worse. Frame's a bit worn. Chain seems alright. Sprockets got some life. Air filter's always a good test to see how well they really did keep it. Can't wait to get stuck in. Right then, I can't think of anything else to say or mention about it. I've probably forgot loads, but that's what it's like. We're going to get into my favourite parts now, which is obviously checking the bike over. We're going to see if I've got a lemon or non-lemon. And there we have it. I'm reasonably pleased with what I've just done. The spark was good. The compression was good. Airbox was nice and clean, no mice nest. The filter's clean. I had to take the jets out, clean them out. The petrol tank didn't have no rubbish in, but I've tipped everything out. It's all nice and clean. All I need to do is mix some oil and petrol, and we can give it a start up and see what it sounds like or does. Should start. It's a Honda. Once it's been running a few minutes, then I will drop the transmission oil, change that, and then we will change the radiator water. And then I think it's ready for a nice little rip up the track. But after all that, I want to give it a really good clean. I think it will scrub up quite well. These plastics, you can see why I just give it a bit of a test with the brake cleaner. That came off a treat. I'm not sure the tank will ever come up well, but everything else should. I don't know what to do about that tank, but I can sleep on that and think about that. Apart from that, I think it's all going to be ready to go. Oh yeah, obviously I checked the radiator coolant. That was all good. Can't think of anything else to do. Let's move on to the next step. Oh. Oh no. Well, carb's got to come off. That's more than likely a float that's stuck, or the pin might have come out. Whatever, I've got to get the carb off. Nothing ever goes straight forward. Right, it's time to give this a little squirt and fire it up now, or try at least. I think I've checked everything, I'm quite happy. Got 2 litres of fuel in there and it's ready to start. I'm going to set the tripod up and let's see what happens. How many kicks do you reckon it'll take? I'm saying 3. Let's get to it. Wow, what a little beast. Started up on what, the 5th kick. If I'd have given it a little bit of gas before it would have started, I'm pretty sure. As soon as I hit the throttle, it fired straight up. But I've got no complaints. It's got no knocking. It pulled through all the gears. It was very strong. I think it's a great little bike. Now all I've got to do is drop the oil, and hopefully we haven't got a head gasket gone or anything like that, and the oil will be nice and clean, and I can just change it and the water's not got in there. That's my next concern, but we'll find that out next anyway. Fuck, that's tight. That's a bit of a relief. Oil's nice and clean, no complaints. Next job is to flush the water system once I've topped this back up with oil. Here we are with a quick update. Basically, it's got fresh fluids, it's all lubed up, it works, it's got 2 litres of petrol. All I want to do now is try and just clean up some of the plastics a little bit more, and then I'll be taking it for a test ride up the track and along to the woods. It's coming up well, just using the brake cleaner and GT85. Gutted. I was going to take it for a test ride literally today, as I put in a lot of time cleaning it yesterday and sorting out the plastics and just getting it up together, mechanically checking it over again and doing as much as I can myself without spending really any money. But I've got a snag list. There's 4 things I've noticed. This spoke is bent. That'd be all right. These bars, the bar clamps are on wrong. I don't know why I didn't notice that. Not until I sat on it and I thought, hey, the bars feel a little bit over. And then I looked down and yeah, obviously. What else? This, I think it's the chain roller tensioner. Maybe someone can let me know, please. And also, I've mentioned it before, but the brake, although it's got loads of meat on there, knowing that I can't get this off, what I'd do next is if I take it off, get the impact driver on it, but this being aluminium, it can be quite delicate. Failing that, I will have to drill it out, and then that's $18.99 for another bolt. I don't want to spend any money if I can help it. It's a project where I'm trying to get it up together for as cheap as possible for the next person to be able to take it on, because as far as I can tell, everything's original. The frame's not got any cracks, it's not bent. It's all original, like I said. I can't see anything that's not original. Even these are original still. But the exhaust is still the original paint. I like that patina, I like this patina, I like all this. So I'll leave it like that. The plastics, I've had a look behind there, all original. Everything. Original. Original pegs. Probably that's the original shifter still. You got the casing. The only thing that's not original is the forks. And this. What's this off? Tells you under here. A It says a CRF 150R 2007. But apart from that then, I think it's all original. The seat, I've not looked under this seat cover, so I'm not sure what that is under there. I've also just lubed everything up, you know, anything that moves I can find. Just making sure everything can move freely. It just looks better and better every time I'm looking at it. I could go buy some plastics, some graphics, some new pegs, levers, a few other bits and bobs to make it look really tidy, but you're just chucking loads of money at it, and I think it's probably worth about £1,000 now, I'd say. I'm probably wrong actually, but it's got to be close. But yeah, the next person would obviously just sandblast the frame, give it a powder coat, give it a really good clean up, sort that engine casings out. But when you do all that as well, you've got to take the bearings out, and if you can't reuse them, you've got to spend money on bearings. There's a lot of work really left. Like I said, I've just got it down to the running stage of being a safe and sound bike, I hope. So somebody else would take it to the next level if I sell it, which was the idea. We'll see. But yeah, I've filled you in of where I've got to now, and hopefully when the weather lets me, I shall take it out for another test ride. So if you stick around, I'm sure I'll be back soon, ready for a shreddy up the track. Let's get on this bike, let's give it a little go. I'm not doing nothing too serious, I've just got my trackies on. Oh. Listen to it. I used to, my first ever proper bike was a CR80. I think it was like a 88 or an 89 though. Right old thing. But what I do remember is all or nothing. Not like the KX is or was. Woo! Back brake's not working. Pheasant! That was lucky! It's so snatchy! Oh, this thing is nippy. Wow, it's pretty nippy. Can't say I'm surprised. There's too many rocks here. I'm not coming off today on this. Oh. Wow, it's a feisty little thing. yes. Right then, all we got to do now, get home, check it for leaks, check the water's alright, and then hopefully, oh, probably can't hear me. Whoa. Right then, it's really windy, I hope you can hear me, but I've got home, there's nothing to report, no problems, can't think of anything to mention, but what I do know is it reminds me exactly of it sounds the same and it acts the same. It's all or nothing with a power band. Screams away, violent little thing. Absolutely enjoy it, but it definitely reminds me of my first bike and it sounds just the same. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this little video and maybe we shall see in the future. MOTO Machines out.